the recording. Now suppose I have this again. I'm going to highlight this. So this time it is from A2, B2, C2, D2. And I'm going to call it, instead of east, I'm going to call it west. I write there and I say enter. And over here, if I say sum of west, system still refers to the numbers. It ignores the text. Is it clear? Anyone, any question on this?
No.
Okay. Now, when I'm adding these values up one by one, the cell keeps moving. Now that could be a problem for me, right? Because it might be that when I'm copying this, I actually want this 930. I want the same value to be copied over here for some purpose. But I don't, if the moment I copy the same thing and paste it over here, system moves the cell reference, right? It moves to column F, but I don't want that to happen. The way to do it is, one, you can rename the cell like this. So what does the cell naming do? If I come here and I say sum of west, what do you think will be my value? It will still show me 1000 because I have fixed the reference to that particular cell. What are the cells? The cells are A2 to D2. D2, C2, D2.
So, sir, the E2 is basically now named or tagged as sum of west, right?
Correct. Correct.
So if you go to any column, any row, and you type sum of west, it will come there.
Correct. You go to anywhere and you write sum of west, it will always show you the same value. Now, what is the system doing behind the scene? When I am naming something, if you go to the formulas, there is something called as name manager, where it keeps a reference to the individual values. Bolo.
Could you please show the pathway to that again, please?
Yes, I will. So here, what it does is, I was here home. I go to formulas and there is something called as name manager. When I click on name manager, I will see the individual names that have been provided. I click on any one, I get a detailed description of it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now, there is another way to do this. What is the way? Here, I am referring to, where is it? Let's say B1 to B4. This, when I am copying and moving here, this is called as relative referencing. Relative referencing. Okay. This, when I'm copying and moving here, this is called as absolute referencing. Absolute referencing means I am fixing the value of that cell. I am not going to move the cell reference, even if my copy paste moves. Okay.
Sir, could you repeat that, please? What is
Yes.
absolute referring and
Relative referencing means that I am moving, when I am copying and pasting the formula, the cell is moving from B1 to C1. Here I have it B1, and when I come here, it becomes C1 to C5. Okay. This is relative referencing. And this one, when I am referring to something which is fixed, where the formula, wherever I am referring, it's not going to move. It is called as absolute referencing. If I want to look from where the values are coming, I can click on this and it will show me from where the values are coming.
What did you click on, sir? Sorry.
Trace precedence.
Okay.
I can do the other way around. I can come here and click trace dependence. So it will show me where all this particular cell is being referred, in which all places within the Excel sheet.
Okay.
So one is
The
called trace
precedent.
precedence, another is called
Okay.
trace dependence. Dependent means from one cell, from this cell, where is it all going? And precedence means from where is it coming?
Can you click on precedent once?
Yeah.
No, now you change the cell precedent, right?
Yes, I clicked here and I said trace precedent. So it shows me which all cell is being referred here. If I want to remove the arrows, I click on remove arrows.
So it will not go back one by one. It'll remove all the
Arrows.
arrows.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Now, if I have both precedents and dependents, Then I can say which one I want to move. For example, I had precedence here and I had dependence here, right? If I then click here and I say remove precedence arrow, then only one set of arrows are going to go away. Other one will remain.
Which remove? Oh, okay, okay. The 700 one.
Yes, because this was precedence. All right. Everybody okay? Anyone, any question?
No.
No, sir.
Okay. Now let's say I have a small table here, which is like north, south, east, west, and I have numbers. Now all this I am having to do it manually, right? Now suppose I had a particular pattern that I want to use. For example, I insert one column here and I say serial number 1, 2. How do you do this serial numbers? Yes, can you tell me how do you do serial numbers 1, 2? Do you do it manually? Yes. How do you do it? Voice is cracking up. Can't hear you. You can type on the chat. Sephora, how do you do the serial number?
Can you please repeat your question?
My question is, I have multiple rows here. I'll put 1, 2, 3, 4 serial number. How do you do this? Is this what you do? Or do you do it
I
in
guess
any
you
other way?
just. I don't precisely know, but I'm just taking a guess. You can be from the row 2 to then row 10, and maybe have a formula. I'm not too sure. Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever have to do this in Excel? That you needed
No.
a serial number to be generated?
No. No.
Okay. Oh, how did I add the column for? Yeah, I clicked on this and I said insert. Insert. Okay. Then the serial number came in. Okay, Huzaifa. All right. Now, one way is you can do 1, 2, 3, then select these three numbers and then drag them like this, and system will keep incrementing one by one. Okay. Now, suppose I have a number starting from 100. I want to put 150 and then 200. So it is increasing by 50, right? So what I do, I select them and I drag them. So system will keep incrementing it by numbers, by 50. This is one way. No formulas. No formulas have been used. Without using formulas. All right. Now there is another way you can do this, which is, suppose I enter a number 10 here and I want to go up to row number 11. So I will select them. Then on the right hand side, there is a fill option here. Can you see the fill? Just below auto sum. I click here. I click here and there's a series. So I want to, step value is increment. Let's say I want to increment it by 5. And system will give a linear option. So it will increment this by 5 without using any formula. No formulas are used. You can click on the cell and see. So I added all these, I put in the serial numbers by any sequence. What did I do? I'll repeat this again. I went in. Let's say I want to clear this. There is another way I can clear it. This is blank, right? I come here, I select to the left, I go to fill and I say fill left. So it will fill these cells with blank from here. If I want to fill to the right, I select this and select, go to the right and then do fill right. So it will copy the same numbers from here to here. It is like copy paste, but by one click. Okay. So I'll repeat this. What I did with the fill, I said 10 and I selected till this number. I went to fill series. Can you all see this series? And type is linear. This is selected linear and I increment it by 5. So 10, next number will be 15, 20, 25 and so on. Okay. Now I know the highest number is 60, but I don't want to select these columns. So what I can do, I can say 10 and I will say fill series. By default, it is always rows. Rows will fill it up along the row. I'll say column, increment it by 5. I will say stop value. That means it should stop when it reaches 60. So 10, 15, 20, 25, and it will stop at 60 when it reaches 60. Whichever cell it reaches 60, it will stop there. Now suppose I have a number 1 and I want 1000 numbers. Now, if I had to do it in this way, I would have to keep dragging this until I reach 1000, right? That's a painful task. See how long it is going to take. It will do it, but it's a bit painful. Instead, what I can do, can say 1, go to fill, series, I'll say column, step value is, let's say 1, and stop at 1000. I didn't have to select the cells. I didn't have to drag anything. All I had to do was click on the first cell, give a step value of 1 and the stop value of 1000 and say okay. And let's see what the system has done. See, it stopped at 1000. Not a cell above, not a cell below. It stopped exactly at 1000. So,
Sir, I have a question.
yes.
So whenever you are choosing the inside the fill option, I mean, if you click on the fill option, yes, and series, yeah. In series, there is two options: series in row and column. So what happens when what is the difference using those two options? Okay.
Is it clear?
Yes.
So if I want to clear it out, I can select the blank rows, the row cells above this, click on this and say fill down. It will blank out. Okay. Now, this was about our linear growth. Suppose I have a number like this, 2, and I want a growth. Growth in the sense, I want a number which is growing geometrically, like 2 times. Each number will be incremented 2 times. 2 times 2, 2 times 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16, 16 into 2, into 2, into 2, and so on. Okay. So this is
In
called
this,
as
did you give a
growth.
stop?
Yes.
In this, did you give a stop value?
No,
It just
because
stopped.
I selected the number of cells which it should fill.
Okay.
I can either give a number of cells or I can give a number. For example, I want to do the same thing. I will say series growth in columns. This time I'll give a stop value. I haven't selected the cells here. 2 times. And where should it stop? It should stop at, let's say, 2048.